When Eddie O's son asked me to speak today, I found it pretty easy to write some things down for your dad. First of all, can everybody hear me? Because I couldn't hear anything back there. Speak louder, good?
Good.
So, good afternoon. My name is Faith Smythe. I am the president of the Uniform Fire Alarm Dispatchers Benevolent Association. I'm also a supervisor in the FDNY, and I worked with Eddie many years. What can be said about Eddie that can give you a full picture of him? He was a son, a brother, a father, dad, and grandpa. To be accurate, he was a character. Eddie had been dedicated to the fire service one way or another his whole life. He was a volley, a fire patrol guy. He was an FDNY dispatcher, supervisor, and a teacher. I met Eddie in 1997 when I started in the fire department. Boy, oh boy, he gave me a really hard time. He was from that old boys club where women were not in the fire service. It took quite a while, but eventually I gained his respect, and we were friends from there. He was a man who told you like it is, whether he was right or wrong. He would bring his grandson Ryan to work on the overnight shift to learn about what we did. And according to the old timers, and I've confirmed it with him, he did the same thing with his son Eddie when he was younger. He would sleep under the positions, and everybody took him under their wing, as we did with Ryan when he came in. Time passed. I had the pleasure of being Eddie O. Jr.'s instructor when he started his career with us. Senior had taught him well. He's a very knowledgeable boss today, just like his dad before him. Eddie O. Sr. was passionate about teaching. He taught us how to use AR, AFF foam to smother a fire. And to do this, he actually started a big grease fire in the kitchen, the Staten Island office. It's one of my favorite scary memories. Our bosses didn't always appreciate how Eddie did things. As bosses, Eddie, many others, myself included, are very protective of our tours. Case in point, during the huge undertaking of working Superstorm Sandy, Eddie was the boss in Queens. Our bosses wanted a letter explaining why one of his dispatchers did not send out an ERS or pull box during the storm. He wrote a letter explaining it, along with 98 pages of incidents attached for them to sift through. In the end, they just said, forget about it. He knew how to write a letter, I can tell you that. Eddie O could always be counted on to show up. And when I say show up, it could have been a funeral, a memorial, or volunteering after Sandy with me, side by side. He and his son showed up first and left last. He was there, no questions asked. Eddie loved live music. He couldn't dance at all, but that sure as hell didn't stop him. He was a social butterfly. Being one myself, I can relate to that. On many occasions, Beth, who's dispatcher 158, and I wouldn't even tell him where we were going, on purpose. We would go to a fundraiser or a party, turn around, and there he was. Again, and again, and again. He would say, hey, Betty and Veronica, what a surprise. Like I said, he would always show up. He loved visiting Germany and his firefighter friends there. Such a great group. They came to visit here in America as well. He loved his volley brothers and sisters. He loved this firehouse. I have many personal Eddie O stories from work, some of which would drive me nuts. And I believe he did these things on purpose, just to see my reaction. Such as his love of cooking and eating cabbage, with the expected results, and no apologies, because it's natural. Raw chicken left out in the kitchen all day. What are you doing with that? I'll eat it later. Then I would relieve him and I'd find half toothpicks with cooked chicken on them left for me on the supervisor's desk when I would relieve him. And it was his way. He would bust your horns, but he could always be counted on. And at the end of the day, I will remember Eddie O. Sr. as a really good-hearted soul who leaves this world temporarily crazy, with, notwithstanding now, a better place for having him in it. Wouldn't we all be lucky to be remembered that way? Cheers. Thank you.